I love learning. I love getting new information, but school has always been difficult for me as long as I can remember, and I've always been just shy of what I really wanted to achieve. I remember in kindergarten when we were going through the beginning level books and we'd test on them, and everyone would pass and I wouldn't, and I kept on taking the test and I kept on failing, and I didn't know why. And it was really frustrating to me, and I felt a lot of shame, and I felt inferior to all the other kids, and I felt like they had a club that they were all a part of and the teacher was a part of, and I wasn't a part of it. Later, third grade or so, the phrase sustained silent reading filled me with dread. My classmates would all be sitting there reading their large chapter books, and I'd be staring at the same small book, just looking at the pictures and coming up with my own stories. The upside of this activity was that it helped me with my own imagination, which I now know is one of the strengths of my dyslexia. Creativity was also used in my spelling. My mother did not appreciate this, and she would have me sit at the table and practice writing out my spelling words over and over again until there were calluses on my fingers. And then I'd take the test, and when I'd get a word wrong, I'd sneak a pencil into my hand and I'd correct it. And I felt so much shame with that, and I didn't want anyone to notice. And I had way too much, I knew the feeling of shame too much for a child that young. A kid in third grade should not know exactly how it feels to be that bad at something. By the fourth grade, I resorted to putting my head down on the desk and crying every day. And that was when I was diagnosed. And my mom had been asking since first grade, but the teachers had kept on reassuring her that I would eventually get it, that it would click. When they told me about the diagnosis, it actually made me feel better, because I'd always felt like I wasn't capable of what I knew I could do, what I knew I wanted to do, and what I felt I was smart enough to do. And dyslexia gave me an explanation why. And then for 2 years, I worked with an Orange Gilliam dyslexia specialist, and I was lucky my parents could afford this, and not everyone can, and she was a lifesaver. She believed in me, and she thought I was smart, and of course she didn't cure my dyslexia, but she gave me the tools that I needed in order to be successful, and that's why I'm able to do what I do in school. I wouldn't be able to do that without those 2 years. In high school, I started struggling again, and I started feeling inferior. I started feeling like I couldn't do it, and I was accused of a new word, which was lazy. This hurt worse than stupid, because I know I'm not stupid. I can argue against that. I know that it's not true, but lazy, I started having doubts. Maybe I'm not working as hard as I can. Maybe that's true. And I thought eventually there must be other students that feel that way. So I started the Dyslexic Student Union, which is dyslexic students as long as students without dyslexia, and we come together and we talk about it. We talk about the issues. And part of that is getting more people involved in things like this. And that's what I went through to have my education accessible to me. And that should not be required. That should not be what's required of every student with dyslexia in order to make their education accessible to them. Education should be free from shame and accessible to everyone. I don't blame my teachers. Not the teachers who said I was lazy, not the teachers who said that I would grow out of it, not the teachers who still question my extra time and accommodations, not the teachers that imply I'm not working hard or that I'm not applying myself because I can talk well but I can't turn in a paper. And I don't blame my mom for pushing me so hard. Because the truth is, they did what they thought was best, and they didn't know any better. It's not their fault. They don't to this day have the information they need to make an informed decision. And it's not your fault, but it is a problem, and it's a problem with a solution. And this bill is a part of that solution. Thank you.